So excited to talk all about how to organize your simple, easy to manage events inside your membership or future membership. So, I am going to share my screen and talk with you a little bit more about how to get started with your events. Now, I actually asked my folks inside of my Facebook group specifically what events that they do offer in their membership. If they offer events in their membership, what does that include? And what questions they had in terms of tech. And so today I want to talk about how you can simplify your membership event management so that you can make simplified steps to streamline the organization administratively for your team or for yourself if you're a solo entrepreneur. Managing events can be simple when you have the right support. And so today I'm going to talk about how membership events can be created. I'm going to talk also about some mindset shifts that if you're starting out with a membership and you haven't established your events, they can occur as frequently as you would like or as little as you like. The second thing I want to talk about is if you're an online consultant or course creator, these events don't always require Zoom. You can have lots of different types of membership events, and we'll talk about three membership event types that you can leverage for your coaching program. And this is going to help you to plan out what do you need in order to move forward for your membership events. Now, I want to talk specifically about how to streamline your events once you've established your membership so that you can have more recurring revenue in your business and peaceful profits. The first thing I want to talk about is not to overcommit your calendar for your membership delivery. This is super important, especially if you're someone who loves to deliver great content for your coaching program, but you tend to maybe over deliver or overcommit yourself, leading potentially to burning yourself out, not feeling excited to promote your membership, or rather feeling like you're doing too much for the amount of membership students that are inside of your program. So, again, I just say this as a word of caution. Do not overcommit your calendar for your membership delivery. Again, as someone who has made this mistake before, and as someone who sees membership owners who are at scale, I often find a very complex calendar setup, which ends up resulting in overwhelming your customers. So it's not sincerely just for you to not overcommit, it's also for the benefit of your members and your customers. The second thing I want to talk about is to find that win win. When it's going to be easier for you to deliver and you have a realistic event schedule, you can deliver a win win for you and your members. Again, even if you have a team or you're planning on hiring a team member to support with your events, we do not want to have you over committing. Instead, it's more important to really look at a way and strategy to deliver something very well in a way that's going to support your lifestyle. If you are going to have a small team, or even if you are planning on hiring someone like a business manager or a relationship manager or a customer success manager. The other thing I want to talk about is what is actually happening in the online business and mentorship and coaching program space. I see this often is a problem with membership sites and group coaching programs. For my group coaching program founders or aspiring membership owners, people often think that they just want to add more coaching calls, more content, more information. But instead of actually resulting in success for their members, what ends up happening is that your members will actually feel overwhelmed, leading eventually to what's called is customer churn. Customer churn is essentially something that happens when members no longer continue working with you. They stop paying for your membership and actually cancel. And what ends up resulting is a decrease in profits long term. Because you've already spent so much time acquiring this member, you're actually losing out when members actually leave your program. So, what I really recommend is the whole less is more strategy: less content, more implementation. Now, we're going to talk about membership types, specifically when it comes to events. And I'm going to share with you my 3 C's for membership types and events. But again, we're approaching this from the idea that less is more. Less content, more implementation. And again, this is specifically for my coaches who offer memberships. We want to focus less on content and more on implementation time. So I'm going to talk about those 3 C's for your membership type. This is especially important for you if you have a coaching program or you're thinking about creating a coaching program and you want to incorporate events inside of your membership. This is also really helpful for you to decide how to structure your pricing. This is specifically something I help with my clients and customers inside of my membership, which is the recurring revenue membership. I help them identify what plan, pricing, and what's included inside of their membership. So ultimately, it's going to drive revenue and also peaceful profits in their business. These 3 membership event types are the most frequently used by my clients. However, this does not incorporate every single membership event type, nor is it going to always align with your specific membership model or subscription type business. So it's important to actually ask questions and get customized feedback. And so if you have questions about these, drop me a comment and I'll make sure to give you some ideas on what kinds of membership event types you can offer for your subscription based business, SaaS, or group coaching program. So these 3 C's include coaching, co-working, and connection. Again, I've structured these as a common framework for your membership, but this will vary based off of your membership model and business type. Coaching can really look differently for each business. We're also going to be talking a little bit more about why I selected connection as a way to have an event for your membership and why I personally believe that connection is one of the best strategies to help for long-term growth, profits, and income for your membership. Let's talk a little bit more about the first option, which is coaching. One of the questions I received in my Facebook group was, how do I incorporate coaching into my membership group and specifically choose tech that's going to support the overall goal of getting students to engage in the content? One of the ways that I help my members and my clients is to decide which tech stack is going to make the sense for them, for their budget, and also their long-term goals. Often when you start a membership, you have a rough idea of what you're going to offer, but that's going to change based off of your time, experience, and your membership feedback from your specific customers. Simplify your RSVP for your coaching calendar with simplifying your events with Google Calendar. Coaching can be as simplified or as complex as you really want to make it. Less is more, and I think if you're going to include coaching in your membership, make sure that you can start out with something that's going to be easy to set up. We want to make it easy for people to see all the existing events, so you can create a Google Calendar for all of your membership events, or you can create customized Google Calendars for specific types of events in your membership. Let's talk a little bit more about easy event setup. If you're starting a membership and you haven't actually created your group, one of the things that you want to think about is where you will host your community. We'll talk about community setup, tech stack, and considerations when you're creating your membership in a later video. But for today, I'd like to talk about easy event setup if you're just starting out or you're thinking about migrating to a simplified process. Private Facebook group events are some of the simplest ways for you to get started in your membership event structure. There's a lot of different tech tools out there, so if you're thinking about hosting your community on Facebook, this is the simplest way to get started. By creating events specifically for private members in your Facebook group, this is going to make it easy for Facebook users who are already on the platform. And again, there are some pros and cons when it comes to creating events on Facebook, and we're going to get into that in a later slide. If you're someone who actually has an existing membership, you might want to consider incorporating another setup, which includes Add Event. Add Event allows you to create multiple calendars from different Google Calendars. You can leverage groups and cohorts. If you have a mastermind, a membership with multiple different skill levels, or if you want to support different mastermind or accountability partners, you can use Add Event to create different calendars for each specific cohort, different interests, or different groups in different time zones. So there's a lot of opportunity here for people who have an existing membership to take that next step by customizing the types of events for your membership. Do want to talk a little bit more about that simple setup. Again, less is more, and here's some simple ways to get started for the events in your membership. Google Calendar will serve you very well, and for most people, this is the simplest solution. Eventable is a free add to calendar button and feature that you can embed directly on your website or emails. This makes it very simple for you to share events and have different people subscribe to these events if you don't want to pay for an ongoing subscription. If you're going to be using some sort of live streaming platform and there's no connection with you in a group coaching call or a specific call with a training implementation, you can simply set up your Zoom to support live stream videos directly into a private Facebook group, or you can set it up to a public Facebook group if you're still in the prospecting phase for your membership. Let's talk a little bit more about co-working. Co-working is a great option if you're thinking about creating ways for people to implement. Co-working can look differently for you depending on what type of tech you have and also your availability. Co-working is one of the best ways that I support my customers inside of my membership, the recurring revenue membership, where I set aside time to support my members during moderated sessions. I really recommend co-working in different increments of time. If you're just getting started, why not try a new co-working session between 45 minutes to an hour in length? I like to use different types of tech tools specifically as it relates to Pomodoro. As someone who loses focus easily, your members will also find it hard to find time to focus and implement. That's why it's important to have time in your membership to actually get support, ask questions, and have time to work through the curriculum. Oftentimes, curriculum founders, coaches, and consultants spend way too much time teaching and not enough time supporting. That's why co-working is a great way to help support your customers long term so that they can create testimonials that will help to sell your program. And those testimonials are really pivotal for long-term case studies and additional revenue opportunities. So again, less content, more guided support and implementation time. This is something that I help with inside my membership. And again, I say this because I think it's so important. I cannot stress how important it is to give guided support and implementation, especially if you have a group coaching program or if you decide that ultimately events and co-working are something you want to offer. Number 3, connection. Connection events can be an additional way to book revenue and or create deeper relationships and impact. Why am I talking about connection when it comes to a membership? Isn't this just a numbers game? Isn't this something that we need to increase the number of leads and acquisitions and sales? The answer to that question is going to depend on your business type. However, when it comes to memberships that are centered around emotional intelligence, leading members to see long-term and lasting support, I really recommend having connection-centered events. Why? Because relationship marketing and relational context is going to give you the additional social proof for people who are willing to promote you to their audience. It's also going to drive referral marketing, which is another thing that I help my customers and clients with. Referral marketing is a great strategy for word of mouth referrals. And why connection? There are many people who are out there marketing a program, curriculum, or some sort of mastermind. And ultimately, relationships are one of the most impactful way for people to drive results, revenue, and lasting connection. And so content is something that people might start by joining your membership for, but connection is the best strategy for long-term recurring revenue growth. Now let's talk a little bit more about what these connection events might look like for you and why am I saying that this is an additional way to book revenue. Well, I talk a lot about additional revenue, income streams, and different types of revenue that you can book for your business, specifically for memberships. But let's talk about some specific hard examples. This might include virtual or in-person meetups. One of the clients that I've helped with over the past few months has included in-person events for their membership. Another one of my clients has incorporated a retreat for their membership, which is actually a group coaching program. These conferences, events, or virtual or in person meetups are a great way to spark conversation, get additional social media content to start promoting your business. And it's also a great way for people to ask the questions that really have an impact on you so that you ultimately know how to communicate in your marketing effectively to generate more leads and revenue in your membership site. Connection events are some of my favorite ways to drive a deeper relationship with my audience. And even if someone is not a perfect fit for long term clients, they'll often be the best referrers for my business because they realize how deeply connected I am with my clients and also how really impactful their relationship is with me so that I can ultimately help them grow their business with referrals as well. Have a complicated event set up for your membership? Let's talk about it. If you already have a membership site set up, it's time to start evaluating what's working and what isn't. One of the easiest ways that you can do that is by auditing your membership event attendance. If you have a large scale membership, association, or a business that operates a high scale of volume for your attendance for your membership, it is going to be very relevant for you to review your data and analytics. If you're just starting on your membership journey, these data and analytics may not really apply to you. But it's important to look long term and collect data and collect feedback on each event. You can do that through a survey, simply through ClickUp, another form like Paperform or Typeform, but you can also do this through different membership site or virtual event software. There's plenty of different software out there that allows you to request feedback based off each event. Now, I use a tool called Heartbeat to allow me to request feedback, which is automatically sent to the customer. If you're using a software like Zoom, there's plenty of different applications and softwares are being created all the time that will audit the attendance of these events, including Luma. But you can also just do a quick Google search and decide how you're going to collect the event attendance and request feedback from each event. Over time, the data is going to accumulate for you to decide if you want to host new events, delete events that are no longer helping your members or your revenue, and also help decide ultimately how to plan your year. Simplification. Again, we're all about simplifying here at the Course Consultant. Decide ultimately what's working, what doesn't work, and ask for feedback from your members and remove unnecessary meetings. If you're someone who wants to create peaceful profits in your business and you want to incorporate events, start by auditing what is working, what is not working, and decide ultimately for your next quarter how you're going to adjust your event calendar. All right. One of the other strategies that I incorporate with my membership is to communicate and review your time zones. If you're existing with your membership and you're happy with offering time zones and available calls for many different types of businesses across different continents and across different time zones, you need to start evaluating when you are going to be hosting your calls to serve the members that are paying you on a monthly subscription. This is very important if you have an online business and you support people on a global side. This is very important, especially if you're marketing this as having membership events. You have to decide what time zones you support in your membership and communicate this. I'll give you an example. Inside of my membership, I've supported clients from Egypt, different parts in Europe, and also in Asia, as well as the United States and Canada. Right now, I'm on Pacific Standard Time, but that might change to Mountain Standard Time. And generally speaking, I've helped a lot of US-based and Canada-based members inside of my client work and also inside my membership. But one of the biggest opportunities I had to learn when I first started my membership was that I couldn't help every single person unless I wanted to hire the people to support the membership for growth for different continents and different time zones. One of the tools that I use is time and event date calendar, which basically helps for me to see what time zones I should host events that's going to cover different time zones. Now, again, one of the things that I ran out of was time. And so I wasn't able to support some of my members as well as I had hoped I would support them in the Asia setting and also within different time zones. And so that was an opportunity for me to realize that there was limitations to my time and also to my ability to serve customers in a vast array of different time zones. So I'm telling you now, please review your time zones, make sure you communicate it with your audience for prospective members, and also support the members that are inside of your membership, either by deciding to continue supporting them with different time zones and calendar events, or by removing events and communicating to members that may not be a good fit based off of the time zones that you're offering these calls. It may be time for you to also evaluate if you need to hire somebody because you are offering support for different folks in a vast different time zone. If you are still unsure about what events to include in your membership, you can always email me or send me a DM. This is a great way for us to decide ultimately what kinds of events are going to make the most sense for your membership and also decide what's going to make the most sense for your ability to serve your members long term. Let's talk a little bit more about me and how I can help. If you're brand new to me, my name is Melody. I have a master's degree in instructional design. I'm also a certified customer success manager. Basically, I'm someone who helps you manage your membership effectively and support long term recurring revenue growth by supporting growth through referrals and long term revenue growth through retention, meaning keeping your members. Also, on a personal note, I love slog mugs. I actually received some really great news about a prospective adoption match. And for the last 3 years, my husband and I have been in the process of adopting kiddos. I'm so excited about being on this journey with you. And if you haven't joined me on Instagram, I share a lot of personal anecdotes and stories, as well as sharing them on my Facebook group, as well as my email list. I'm also the oldest sister of four. I love musical theater and I'm an anime lover. In fact, this December I'm going to Japan and Korea, and I can't wait to see what new things are in store for me as we explore the countryside and really enjoy our time as a couple. If you need more personalized help, I want to invite you to work with me one-on-one or in a group setting. My recurring revenue membership is available for enrollment, and I have a couple of different options that might be a good fit for you if you ultimately need my support. Let's talk a little bit more about what the recurring revenue membership is. If you're brand new to me or if you haven't joined, my recurring revenue membership is my hybrid membership and group program that's specifically for membership owners that need step-by-step support. If you're brand new to creating a membership or someone who is scaling their membership, there's a variety of different price points that I offer. Let's talk a little bit more about each of these price points and ultimately which plan is going to be best for you. The silver plan is the community plan. This plan incorporates growth plans where I actually work with you in a group setting so we can get guided implementation time. As we were talking about today, co-working time is a big part of my membership, and I offer weekly moderated co-working time. So not only will you get access to the courses and curriculum, but you'll also get access to ask me questions, get guided feedback, and I've created some additional support options, including implementation times where we can talk through your questions about tech, membership site setup, and so much more. In the goal of the plan, this is a done with you option. We create a roadmap for launching or growing your membership, and I incorporate some group coaching calls. These are specifically guided training calls that allow you to get support and you really flourish in a group setting. In the VIP option, I create a membership launch, referral plan, migration plan, and a growth plan. This is the perfect option for you if someone is going to either start a brand new membership and you need guided one-on-one support. With my time, I also provide you 12 months of access to my membership and our time with you and your team so that we can get all the implementation for your site plan migration, your membership launch plan, or your referral plan. There's truly so much that I can customize for you with the done for you option, and I'm really excited to offer this as a new plan this year. Let's talk a little bit more about what our events are included and ultimately help you to make the decision whether or not this is the right membership plan for you. So the first thing I want to talk about again is our co-working times. Our co-working times are weekly offerings where I come in to special software called Go Brunch. This is a virtual meeting room Unlike Zoom, this allows you to meet without having your camera on, having the ability to communicate in real time. I offer these specifically for members who need that special support and where we can take time to implement it, all of the training and the resources that I offer to my clients inside of my private course dashboard. You also get access to something called referral parties. These are special events where I connect with other course creators, consultants, and coaches or service providers that want to grow their business through referral marketing. This word of mouth referral is the best place for you to book yourself as a podcast guest, look for different referral relationships to grow your revenue, and also to find ways to find win win collaboration partnerships. If you already have an existing affiliate program, this is also a great way for you to grow with affiliate income. By having a wide variety of networks in your back pocket, you can start growing your membership or your group coaching program through these word of mouth. Let's talk a little bit more about Voxer office hours. Voxer office hours are something that I'm really passionate about. As someone who's constantly changing time zones because I move, and someone who doesn't always love to meet via Zoom, I offer Voxer office hours for my members and my clients so that they can communicate with me within a group setting. Voxer office hours are held weekly on Fridays from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and you can ask specific targeted questions to me about anything related to membership site setup, questions related to membership tech, anything related to referrals, retention, and curriculum. There's so many ways that I can help you, and I honestly think this is one of my favorite ways to support my clients, especially if you don't want to feel confined to just an hour time on Zoom. Let's talk about what time zones are ideal for this membership. I want to be open and upfront and tell you that the time zones for my membership are ideally suited for those within the US and Canada time period. This is specifically true, especially if you're located in Europe, in Asia, or a different continent that's vastly time zones difference. So again, these time zones are going to be great for you if you're on the West Coast or the East Coast in the continental United States or within the US and Canada. I want to say that if you're again within the time zones or in a different country that are not US and Canada, again, I host these on Pacific time zone, and my office hours and times are specifically normally between 10 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you have additional questions related to what events are moderated, what times I offer these events, don't hesitate to reach out because I'd love to share with you my calendar so you can see ultimately if it's a good choice for you. All right. Not only do you get access to all of the events that I shared, as well as the access to me, you also get access to posting jobs, networking office hours, expert sessions, the digital course marketplace, co-working, the course vault, and so much more. There's truly so many magical options available inside this membership, and I hope that this has been a helpful and informative session for you. If you have any questions specifically about the recurring revenue membership, and if you're a good option for this specific plan, or if you have questions about anything we've discussed today about events, don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach out to me at any time via email at hello@thecourseconsultant.com. I hope that this has been a fun day for you and that you found something magical from this session. If you have any feedback, positive or otherwise, I'd love to hear from you. Don't hesitate to comment below with what event tech that you're using, questions about events, or any other feedback about this session. I hope to see you again for next week, where we'll be talking more about how to grow and manage your membership successfully without burning out or by adding too many calls to your coaching calendar. I'll chat with you later. Thanks so much